I Hate the News is the weekly news bulletin from I Hate Politics podcast, a show about a human activity we love to hate. I am Sunil Dasgupta. The week of April 23rd, 2024. Earth Day and the start of Passover this year have come with clouds of war, deep distrust in society, and the threat of another school shooting. MCPS faces lawsuits from Muslim and Jewish groups over anti-Semitism and free speech. White's Ferry owner says that he will donate the ferry in an effort to restart it. But there have been so many twists in this story. WMATA, Maryland, and Montgomery County step up with shuttle buses connecting red line stations between Glenmont and Tacoma Park this summer when train service will be suspended, and much more. Music for this episode comes from Baltimore area jazz musician Seth Keibel's album, Clarinet Flicks and Chill. Keibel on clarinet, flute, and tenor saxophone, Ellington Carthan on piano and keys, Christy McDonald on the electric guitar, Elliot Seppa on the double bass, and Joey Antico on the drums. You can find their music at sethkeibel.com. Last week, the U.S. House of Representatives passed controversial bills providing military aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Montgomery County's beloved Congressman Jamie Raskin voted against the Israel bill. One of only 37 Democrats and Maryland's only representative to do so. The vote was largely symbolic. The bill passed the House 366 to 58. But it was a big deal for Montgomery County progressives who have become increasingly upset with Raskin's fence-sitting on the Gaza war. Over the last several months, pro-Palestinian progressives have repeatedly disrupted Raskin's public meetings, including at the University of Maryland, as we had reported. The Washington, D.C. region is deeply divided on the issue. The region's Jewish community is also deeply divided, but it's not down the middle. Raskin's vote may have opened the path to creating a new coalition that is an alliance with tens of thousands of Israelis coming out night after night in Tel Aviv, and who hold Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responsible for the misconduct of the war, while supporting both Palestinians and Israeli societies, if not their states. Expect the temperature to heat up further as repercussions of Raskin's decision are debated. Closer home, Montgomery County Public Schools is now facing complaints from both the Zionist Organization of America and the Council of American Islamic Relations over free speech and anti-Semitism. The Zionist group has asked the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights to open new investigations into MCPS for anti-Semitism. In their complaint, they list testimonies of Jewish students and parents, but also point out how 4 MCPS teachers who were put on administrative leave while the school district investigated allegedly anti-Semitic comments are now reinstated. Sabrina Khan Williams went from Tilden Middle School to Martin Luther King Middle School. Angela Wolf from Tacoma Park Middle School to Seneca Valley High School. Annike Robinson from Westland Middle School to Hallie Wells Middle School. And Hajur El Hagan from Argyle Middle School to Greencastle Elementary School. Earlier in February, The Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, had filed a lawsuit against MCPS in the U.S. District Court for Maryland for wrongfully punishing 3 of the 4 teachers, El Hagen, Wolf, and Robinson, for exercising free speech and contesting the notion that their remarks on social media and other platforms were in fact anti-Semitic. Montgomery County Police arrested Rockville teenager and 18-year-old MCPS student Alex Yee for threatening 1 or more school shootings. The entire government leadership in the county appeared in a press conference to announce the arrest. Here is Police Chief Marcus Jones.
Based upon the information that had been received, because of the threats that the witness had noted that Mr. Yee had made significant statements in regards to committing an act of violence of shooting up not only his high school, Wooten High School, but also shooting up an elementary school, his elementary school that he went to. Mr. Yee had shared his memoir, a 129-page manifesto, with the witness. Our investigators obtained a search warrant for that Google account. Limited information showed search history related to firearms. Through his Discord account on March 5th, Yee wrote, "My friend reported me to the police for a book I am writing." Timestamps of Yee's Google search showed that after the visit, that Yee researched gun ranges near me. And he also obtained written and verbal descriptions of AR-15s. He also looked up the book Forgive Me, which is a novel about a high school student who plans to shoot his friends and then kill himself. During the execution of the warrant, officers were able to read Yee's manifesto, which Yee alleges is fiction. In the document, Yee writes about targeting his former elementary school because little kids make easier targets. He strategized on how to access the easiest classrooms in his high school and how he would be able to sneak a gun into the school. He also wrote that he wanted to become a serial killer instead of a mass murderer because serial killers are romanticized a lot more.
Based on official statements, court charging documents where Yee appears as Andrea Yee, and reporting by other media, including the Wooten High School student newspaper, Common Sense, this case seems to be a copybook example where the system worked. Yee was already on law enforcement radar as early as March 3rd, and likely before then even for mental health concerns. A friend reported Yee after seeing a 129-page memoir where the school shooting threats were reportedly made. He may have tried to get a gun, but failed. The police have called the memoir a manifesto. But Yee says it's a work of fiction, and in particular, one detail stands out. The charging documents quote Yee's memoir as saying that there was an AR-15 rifle at Yee's home, but it was locked away. The home is not known to have had any guns at this time. The case raises a difficult question. Why is the county charging Yee with a misdemeanor? Especially because in December 2022, he had also made threats of shooting a school, but at that time was hospitalized. On the one hand, in this day and age of school shootings, all threats have to be taken seriously and investigated. Maryland Criminal Code cited in the charging documents includes attempts to commit crimes, but it is unclear what constitutes attempts. Will writing about school shooting and sharing the writing constitute an attempt? Do Google searches constitute attempts? The one thing that might have precipitated the arrest is the anniversary of the Columbine school shooting that was this weekend. Yi has a long history of mental health problems and is in need for treatment now as in the past. Transportation news. Chuck Kuhn, the billionaire founder of JK Moving, has offered to donate the closed White's Ferry boat crossing over the Potomac between Poolesville and Loudoun County to Montgomery County in an effort to restart the service. Kuhn had bought the operation in 2021 from longtime ferry operators, the Brown family, but has been stymied by the owner of the landing site on the Virginia side, Elizabeth Devlin.
Great news. I very much look forward to working with Montgomery County and Loudoun County to get the ferry open again.
The sticking point between you and Chuck Kuhn seemed to have been that you wanted a per vehicle fee of 50 cents, and he did not want to give that. How is that going to be resolved, do you think?
I can't say at this point, but I believe that the per vehicle fee of 50 cents per car is very reasonable. And we had 2 ferry companies talk to us several years back, a couple of years back, and one of them was very eager to get a ferry going again, and offered both our Rockland Farm and Chuck Kuhn more than 50 cents.
If the donation goes through, the ferry will now be in the hands of the government. Is it easier to negotiate with the government or with a private entity?
I have a nice relationship, I believe, with both counties. And so I hope that relationship will continue. So I guess I'm optimistic about that.
WMATA, the state of Maryland, and Montgomery County announced shuttle bus service covering Red Line metro stations between Glenmont and Tacoma Park, while service at these stations are suspended for maintenance over the summer months. I spoke with County Council member Natalie Fanny Gonzalez, whose district includes some of the stations to be closed.
We're going to have a bus-only lane from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. throughout the summer. Again, free shuttles while this construction is, and this maintenance work is taking place in Metro.
How often is the shuttle going to run?
They're going to be more often during peak hours, and the more detailed schedule is going to come later on.
Did you have any opposition to the idea of having bus-only lanes on Georgia Avenue now?
Yes, I have heard from people who just don't understand that the necessity of and the benefits of having bus only lanes. Okay. So, and I heard those comments when we implemented the University Boulevard bus only lane. I'm hearing them that now with Georgia Avenue. I explained to people that if you want to see less congestion, then having a more efficient bus system is actually the answer.
Key bridge update. The owners of the container ship MV Dali, which crashed into the Key Bridge, have filed a petition in the U.S. District Court of Maryland to limit their liability to $43 million based on a 19th century admiralty law that limits culpability to the cost of the ship and the cargo minus salvage and repair costs. The city of Baltimore has hired well-known disaster litigation lawyers. The Maryland General Assembly has authorized the state's attorney general to file lawsuits as necessary. The FBI is investigating. The National Transportation Safety Board is looking at electrical failures on the Dali when it was docked at the Port of Baltimore. Lloyd's of London, the insurance firm that reinsures most seagoing vessels, estimates the damages to be in the low billions of dollars. Rockville's renowned employee-owned social science firm, Westat, is moving from its longtime home off Darnestown near I-270 in Rockville to Bethesda. They have sold the Rockville campus buildings, which are already zoned for mixed-use development. Westat, like other firms, has seen a dramatic drop in office attendance and the rise of remote work. The Bethesda location is metro accessible, which the Rockville location was not. Endorsements in the Maryland U.S. Senate race make interesting politics. Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy endorsed Congressman David Trone for the office against her county executive Angela Alsobrooks, who served as the state's attorney in the county before Braveboy. But Alsobrooks won the coveted Washington Post endorsement. Clarksburg High School junior Pranil Savarna was elected the 47th student member of the Montgomery County Board of Education, finally breaking a long run of down-county and mid-county snobs. That's all for this episode. Be sure to tune in here at I Hate Politics this Friday for our big feature interview. I Hate Politics is produced by me, Sunil Dasgupta, and assistant producers Daniel Gallio, Katarina Gasek, and Catherine Amaya Escobar, with support from University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I direct UMBC's political science program at the universities at Shady Grove in Montgomery County, where, among other things, we explore and learn about politics, government, and society close to home. Music for this episode comes from Baltimore area jazz musician Seth Keibel. The songs are from his album Clarinet Flicks and Chill. If you want to share your music on the show or know someone else who might want to, please email us at producer@ihbpod.org. See you next time.